Welcome back to Coastal Connection. I'm Brian Russo. We head north for the final segment of today's show, all the way up to Middletown, Delaware. Back in the 1800s, it was a tavern town, the sort of place you stopped on your way to somewhere else. But today, Middletown is growing, with new residents coming north from Baltimore and south from New Jersey. And when they get here, there's a surprise awaiting them. The Premier Center for the Arts, a bustling performing arts center that cranks out musicals, dance productions, live music, and children's theater all year long. December is an extremely busy time of year at PCA, so I swung by earlier this week to talk with the staff and meet some of the kids striving for what they hope will be a career on the stage.
Unlikely of all the places. Little shop of horrors, little shop of terrors, call the cop. Little shop of horrors, no.
My name's Fred Munzert. I'm the Executive Director here at Premier Center for the Arts. We've been doing this, we're actually in our 10th season. We just started our 10th season. It's been a great 10 years. The kids, as you can see, are just so passionate. They love it. This is family to them. They look forward to being here. They hang out. They make really good relationships and friendships through these groups because they spend a lot of time setting goals, processing goals, and achieving goals. And that's one of the things we really try and do with the kids is focus on the relationship side of it so that as an artist they can just kind of be comfortable to explore whatever it is that they're doing.
So you started this with your sister a number of years ago, and I guess why did you choose Middletown? That's the first question that I had when I found out that this center was here doing the things that it's doing and putting out the quality of shows that you're putting out. I just wondered, why Middletown? This is kind of the last place in Delaware where I thought it would be.
We chose Middletown because it was kind of in the middle of the state, somewhat. We're at the bottom of Newcastle County, so we could reach the kids that were in Wilmington and in Newark and those areas, but also down to the southern reaches of the state. We have students that come as far as Rehoboth to be part of the programs here, and we wanted to kind of make it centrally located so that it was accessible. It seemed like the South was lacking in a lot of ways, and we wanted to make it the arts a little more accessible to them. And it's been great. It really has. I think the location is absolutely perfect.
And you talk about accessibility of the arts, and certainly anybody who's been keeping up or have had a child in school in the last decade knows that accessibility to the arts is becoming harder and harder. Do you think that makes what you guys are doing here and all that much more important for the kids of this region?
It does. And what we do here is, even with the change in accessibility with the arts over the years, having an after-school program in the arts, it changes the relationship, it changes the atmosphere. It's not as structured as a school setting. The relationships between the faculty and the students is a little different. They're seeing them on the weekends. They're spending a lot more time together. They're working on longer-term projects where they're getting together sometimes 3, 4, 5 times a week to rehearse and process through a certain project. I think that we've definitely seen a change in accessibility over the years. It's affected us, but even with the change in accessibility in the public schools, the economy has caused even after-school programs to suffer because people can't afford. They can't afford program fees or things like that. And what we've tried to do here is change pricing. We've offered a lot more programs for free so that people that maybe can't afford it still have that same accessibility.
Have you guys found it harder, I guess, in this economic downturn in the last several years? People start cutting out extracurricular activities that their kids are doing because they're trying to keep food on the table. I mean, how much of a sting have you guys felt in the last several years with enrollment?
Definitely have seen a difference. Absolutely. There's no question about that. We, again, have tried to do everything we can to restructure and change things as much as we can to keep it accessible. But the reality is the reality. We do a lot more free programming. We do a lot more programming that they can be involved for very low levels or even shorter commitments. We cut a lot of our programs that used to be year-long programs into half a year, so that maybe I don't want to commit to a full year financially, but I can still be involved and feel like I'm being creative and just make a half a year commitment.
Just to give people a sense of scale, just how many kids are coming through, the center on a weekly, monthly basis?
We have about 300 students a week coming through, and that's in the classes. Outside of that, all of our productions, it's much more than that. We average about 1,000 people a week foot traffic through our facility, audience, cast members in shows, as well as students. All of the programs are tiered. So some programs it's audition only. Certain programs that you've seen tonight, they have to audition to get into. They have to do a dance audition, a vocal audition, an acting audition, and then they're accepted and the faculty assesses them, and they make decisions about what level they may be at. So it depends. Many of our programs, you sign up and you're in, and it's a low-pressure, low-stress setting. Some of them, again, to teach them not just about what the entertainment business is like, but what life is like. There are times that you're assessed, and you have to say to myself, am I going to set those goals and kind of rise to that level? And they make those decisions. And it's great to see these kids make choices and conquer those mountains.
Stop right where you are, don't you move a thing. You better, I'm telling you better. Tell your mama.
My name is Eric, and I am 12 years old.
My name is Lee, and I'm 11.
So how long have you guys been, performing here at the center?
I've been doing this camp for 3 months, but I have been here occasionally just to do random stuff that I feel fun.
The first play I did was, I think I was 5, and I did Annie here, the first Annie play, and then I had Disney Kids Cabaret, then I did Cinderella, the play, and now I'm doing MTE.
So is this just something fun to do in the evenings, or is this something you guys want to continue to do and get better at and maybe act in the future?
I would definitely like to continue this. It's always fun for me, and just have a great time. So I love to do this for a living or just a hobby.
What's the hardest part of performing in front of people? Do you guys even, after you in this big group of people and you perform all these performances every year, do you ever get stage fright?
Never.
Never stage fright. You?
No, I don't get stage fright. The hardest thing, I think, is the people, because sometimes they can get on your nerves, but you just got to push on through it.
So you've had you've had experiences with tough rooms.
Yes, I have.
What's your favorite, play that you guys have done so far?
Mine, I've just done this recently. It was My Homework Ate My Dog. I was the lead role, and it was just really fun. It was in my school, so I just knew all my friends doing it. So it was just a blast.
What's more fun for you, being the lead role or just being a part of the ensemble, singing, the chorus parts?
I like being in plays more than singing, but everything's just fun when it's with the arts.
How about for you?
I'd rather be the lead, but not every time you get the lead, so I'd have ensemble too, but the lead has, they get to see your natural talent, and that's what I like.
Is this the coolest camp you guys have ever been to? I mean, there's not a lot of places like this around the region.
Yeah, this is a really special camp. I feel very privileged to be accepted here because this is a place that you can go and just have fun. A lot of people don't have that, and it's just a privilege.
I've only been to 2 camps. The first camp was Camp Imagine, and then I've been here all my life. This is pretty much wherever I go, and I love it here. It's the best place.
Do you feel more comfortable here and the friends you have here than at school?
Definitely, because you get more close with the people here because you're always with them, and especially Hannah, because she's my best friend, because she's in my class too at school, and she goes here, and we always hang out and stuff. And then Sydney, who's also an MTE, she's one of my best friends. And
very cool. Well, best of luck to both of you. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you.
So there's the musical theater ensemble that Eric and Lee are a part of, which is kind of a fun and laid-back group for kids ages 6 to 12. But as you walk through the halls of the Premier Center for the Arts, behind every door, and believe me, there is a lot of doors, is the sound of drums and power chords, piano playing, and thumping bass lines, as the center's very accomplished private instructors help these kids lay the groundwork for their craft, teaching them the skills so they can create the pop or indie rock songs of the future. But Munzert says the group that kind of serves as the role models for all of the performing kids is the group of students who make up the ensemble called Triple Threat. When we walk into their practice space, they're in the midst of rehearsing. Triple threat, of course, is the term used in the industry if a performer can sing, act, and dance. And these kids, ranging in ages from 9 to 19, can do all three quite well.
Just go ahead and hate on me and run your mouth, so everyone can hear. Hit me with the worst you got and knock me down. Baby, I don't care. Keep it up soon enough to figure out you wanna be a loser like me.
Tell me your name.
Alexandra Check.
And how old are you?
I'm 9.
9 years old. So how long have you been taking classes, being a part of this group, and how long have you been singing?
I've been singing for 6 years, and I don't really know how long I've been with these guys.
Right. So what is it about singing that just makes it your thing? I mean, every kid's looking for what their thing is, whether it's soccer or dance, or why is singing your thing?
Well, because when I started singing when I was 3, I thought I had the talent of singing because I really wanted to be famous someday.
Yeah. And when you're singing in front of a group of people, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel like I'm not shy. I'm like full energized and I really want to do it.
So other kids in your class, like, there's so many, you see singing shows on TV, and, do kids that you go to school with who don't sing or don't, perform for people, do they think that it's just easy to do? I mean, what would you tell people that just think that anybody could sing?
Well, some people in my class think they can sing and they think it's really easy for them to sing, but you have to learn vocal lessons, you have to know the perfect pitch, you need to know a lot of stuff to sing.
And what's your favorite thing to sing?
My favorite thing to sing is Broadway, The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow from Annie.
It's one of my favorites too. So is this something that you want to do? You want to be a singer when you grow up?
Yes, I do.
Very cool. All right, let's talk to somebody else. So what's your name?
Paige Bassett,
And how old are you?
11.
Okay, so how long have you been singing?
I've been singing since I was about 3, 4, or 5 years old.
So what's the hardest part? Is it the dancing, or is it the actual singing?
I think that the dancing and singing at the same time is hard.
Do all of you, I guess collectively, do you all want to grow up and make a career out of singing and performing?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess, I know you all are very, very young. What are you learning about here, about what it's going to take to, have a career in doing this? I know that the first thing everybody tells you is you have to be okay with people telling you no or giving you rejection. What's some of the first things that you're learning here?
Well, it is a 3-hour intensive, so you focus on dancing for an hour, singing for an hour, and acting. And we just kind of hone in on all that skill, and you really have to be able to do all three.
This is Alyssa Lee Lewis. She's the oldest member of the group and has already set out to start her acting and singing career in the big world of show business. She says even though she's out of high school, she still comes back to the Premier Center for the Arts quite often to take classes and hang out with the kids and try to learn something new. But even at such a young age, she's already done some very big things that even much older or even more experienced performers haven't done yet in their own careers.
I got the opportunity to play at the Montreux Jazz Festival in Switzerland, all because of this place. Right now I'm studying. I come here, I'm here 3 days a week, always studying my craft, always working on it, even when I'm at home. Right now working 2 jobs, trying to support myself as a musician, saving up money so that I can, hopefully in July, move to New York. That's what I plan on doing.
So is it just songwriting that you're doing, or are you trying to be an actress as well as a songwriter? Or?
Right now it's mainly Broadway-ish and the triple threat type thing, singing, dancing, and acting, doing all of it. Because there's always great main stage shows going on here. I just recently finished doing a chorus line here. I'm going to say I was a pretty horrible dancer when I started here. I had no idea. The choreographer was trying to teach me how to do a jazz square, and I was like, I really have no idea. And over the years, taking classes, working it up, doing shows, it's just the experience and doing it all and taking it in and working it out.
So as you get ready to start making a go of this, if there are younger kids, as you're in this group Triple Threat with some very young kids, what do you tell them when they ask you, hey, what should I be working on? What should I be doing to really get to where you are or where you hope to be going?
Take it very seriously. And if it truly is something that you want to do, you really need to live, breathe, eat, and sleep it. And that's what Fred has said to me. That's what Missy has said to me. That's what multiple people here have all expressed. And that's something that I take from here. Live, eat, breathe. Right. It.
Do you think that you're getting kind of a city education in kind of a rural, small-town environment?
I think this is a great opportunity. I think having this here is amazing because, like, back in the day, was there this? Like, the theater that you could go to just work out your stuff if this is something that you wanted to do. I think this is a great place for kids to come if they want to, work on stuff. I mean, as you can see, Little Shop, come on now. Those kids are amazing.
Yeah. Well, best of luck, too.
Thank you.
They're here on nights they don't have class. They'll bring their homework and do it in the cafe. They'll schedule time to come in, and I'll come into a studio and they'll be in here practicing something that's not even a night they're supposed to be here. I love that. It shows me that they're really passionate about it and they're really serious about what they're doing. And so for some of them, they're really serious about the relationships, which to me is the most important thing, first of all, especially at this age, that they feel safe, comfortable, to learn and grow and express themselves as artists. And then beyond that, they kind of spur each other on and they get more and more serious about the craft because they like being together and then they want to create things together. And it goes way beyond the studio and what the teachers do with them too, because it's not uncommon to see two kids in the studio writing a song. And I'll say, what are you doing? We're just writing a song. And it's like, okay, no teacher told them to do that. Nobody, said, hey, I want you to write a song, that's your assignment this week. They just decided to do it. And that, to me, shows the success of what the faculty here is doing, because they're inspiring that vision in themselves, and then it comes to life inside of them, right. And they start creating on their own.
Well, I wonder if when you started this, if that's what you had hoped for, or if what has become kind of the reality that you just described has exceeded your expectations for when you started this.
It's definitely exceeded it, but I can tell you from the beginning what I really wanted and what we purposed to do was to have a vibrant community of artists that were free to express themselves, grow together, learn together, and have it be all ages. But it's gone way beyond that. Almost everything we do here has come not from the administration, but from a faculty member or a student. We used to do Broadway cabarets with adults, and then a 6-year-old came to us and said, it's not fair, we don't get to do a Broadway cabaret. And so the next thing I know, we're doing a kids' Broadway cabaret. And in these cabarets, the adults, they serve hors d'oeuvres, tableside and all that, and the kids were like, we want to serve the hors d'oeuvres, and we were thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to be dumping hors d'oeuvres all over the floor, it's going to be a disaster. It was unbelievable. We do 2 of them a year now, every year, and it's packed. They're always sold out. We always have to start turning kids away because so many of them want to be in it. But I love that. I love that we don't have to just say, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this, but they can say, hey, this is what I'm kind of dreaming about, this is what I'm thinking I want to do, and then we can give them the ability, the platform to be able to do it.
In teaching them those things, how much are they inspiring you?
I am always amazed by the innocence and fearlessness of young people in all aspects. But creatively, they're always so willing to try anything. And I'm, on a daily basis, challenged and inspired because of that. As an adult, we get bogged down by our fears, our life, and all of that. And creatively, as an adult artist, it kind of starts to change what you do. But when I see in them this, I can do anything, I think, wow, that's an amazing attitude to have. And then you look around the world and just the craziness of the past years and all that has gone on, and you think at a time that they may feel hopeless, they're saying, I can do anything. And that is a cool atmosphere to be in.
That was Fred Munzert, director of the Premier Center for the Arts in Middletown, Delaware. To learn about classes or to catch a performance at the PCA, click to our website, wamucoast.org. You're listening to Coastal Connection. I'm Brian Russo.